Hi, it's Shanda Sumpter. Today we're going to talk about what really that you can ask me anything you want in your business today, and I'll show you how to do it with less stress. So, good morning, you guys. It's Coffee with Shanda. I am really tired today. I got up at midnight last night, so I went to bed. So sorry for unfortunately, it is what it is. One of those days. I could have canceled Coffee with Shanda. I could have just said, forget it, let everybody see me, just roll out of bed. So, good morning. I am drinking out my Joel Osteen cup this morning. It says, God will always give me the victory. So, I'm hoping this is the part that I love. You will. Isn't that cool? So, you guys, hold on, I'm going to take a sip. So I woke up at midnight. Oh, I went to bed at 9 o'clock last night, and I woke up at midnight, and I had all of these things firing in my head. And so, you know what that's like? Like it's like all night. I had all these ideas. I had two entirely new, really cool campaigns just get downloaded into my head, different ways that I could give to people and share to people, which was really exciting to me. And then I was on Slack with some of my team in another country, and we were like having so much fun, like looking at some of my clients' text messages that they sent me. I was reading a text message last night that one of my clients had made $6,000 using my iSolve model. That's the model that I actually sell on hardcorebusiness.com. And that's not a plug, by the way. Oops, sorry, you guys, on Instagram. I don't know how that just happened. I don't know what just happened. Sorry about that, you guys. Let's see if I can put you back up there. Anyway, so I got a text message from one of my clients, and she had used my iSolve model and made $6,000, and she'd gotten 3,000 of that paid up so it wasn't like $6,000 was like financed over months. It was like the person had given her 3,000 out of the 6,000 like that. It was the first time she used my iSolve model, which is on my Hardcore Business page, but for really inexpensive, by the way. It's like $97 or three payments of $32.99 or something like that. It's something ridiculous. I used to sell it for $1,500, and I thought, oh my God, like people need this to be able to grow their businesses like now. So anyway, long story short, she was living off her retirement. So I'm trying to like help Instagram here. She was living off her not retirement, off her savings for 3 years before that opportunity happened, where she learned how to build an email list, learn how to build an audience, and learn how to actually have like a really authentic sales conversation. So I was I was screenshotting all of these like text messages and Boxers and Facebook inboxes that I get, which is funny because I just forget about sharing them. I know that's like the horrible marketer on the planet. You guys come to me for marketing and business, and it's like I have all of these like amazing, juicy messages from people, but I've been in the moment with them as I've been celebrating and forgetting, oh my gosh, we could really share these with people to empower them to come to the Zone event, or to really just allow either me or somebody else to help them rock it in their business. I think it just breaks my heart when people settle for not having a great relationship when there's great relationship coaches out there, or not having a fit body when there's amazing fit people out there like, Tracy Campoli helping people. And then, for business, I'm not the only great business coach out there. There's lots of them in my field that are great. And if you find somebody wonderful, I just say to you, that have really big dreams and aspirations, and know that you're going to hit some walls in the process of doing it. But I'm telling you, every wall you hit is just a test. It's just a test, and you've got to not pull back, right? Like sometimes it breaks my heart. Like sometimes my clients will come to me. I think I said this yesterday actually, and they'll be like, I have to back off my payments, right? And I'm like, well, what if you didn't back off your payments, and what if you did what it took today to sell? Right? You can't expect people to pay you if you don't actually keep up with your bills, right? And so I had Sasha on yesterday, who, on Coffee with Shanda. If you haven't watched it, you really should watch it. And she inspires me so much because everything bad has happened to her and she keeps going, right? Everything's bad has happened to her and she keeps going. And And with all of that being said, she understands the element of prosperity. She's like, she could have filed bankruptcy, right? Not that if anybody has, that I'm judging you, I'm not. But like, I look at my stepdad, who is a very, very, very wealthy man, and he was advised to file BK, and he didn't file BK. But yet, then I have something like, the women's conference. I'm just going to really boldly say this, where literally they sold all this sponsorship and then didn't have the people in the room that they said they would, and so they're dissolving the company so that they're not responsible for like paying back sponsorship fees or things like that. Like, you can always tell somebody's character based on how they show up when things get tough. So when things get tough for you, first and foremost, please know I don't judge you for filing BK or even the Women's Conference for doing what they're doing right now, but it is shitty, right? Like, it is shitty. And it hurts your character when you operate like that, and then you have to do twice the work to try and repair your character to be able to get back on top. And at the end of the day, here's what I've learned. You don't have to back down off the challenge. What you have to do is figure out what is being called of me right now to make this right. What is being called of me right now to be able to turn this around? If I follow people around, I'm going to tell you people don't work as hard as they think. They might be busy throughout the day, but they don't work as hard as they think. Like, for instance, right now in my community, it doesn't even make sense that anybody should be poor. I'm going to repeat that. In my community, it doesn't even make sense that anybody should be poor. We do things like we have a contest going on where they could win an opportunity to have my Facebook team and me run traffic for them, right? If they win the contest, they don't even have to win it. A bunch of people can win that, right? Which means that, I could make you thousands and thousands of dollars having my Facebook team and I look at your funnels and run traffic for you, and I'm paying for $2,000 of the traffic. Right? We have another opportunity where this week somebody could win $1,000 cash, and I'll have it in their hands by Monday or Tuesday of next week. It's amazing that only I think it's 5 people that are really even showing up to get that $1,000. And I share this with you because I see this over and over and over again. My point to share this is really to actually say, open up your mind, because honestly, the biggest reason why people are broke is because of the fact that they are so self-centered on their challenge. They're so self-centered on their challenge. You've got to look at your challenge and realize it's a test and go give to that challenge to overcome that test. Generosity, you guys, it's a huge piece to being able to break open and break free. All right, so I'm done with my tangent. I want to share with you, or I want to answer any questions that you might have on your business this morning. So being super tired and being up since 12 o'clock last night, fired up. I've lost my fired upness, and now I'm woo, ready to go to sleep. And my little guy's going to be getting up here soon, my little toddler. So if you have a question for me, then please just go ahead and just type in your question on Instagram or on our Facebook page on Hardcore Business, and I'll answer your question. So the best way for me to get fired up right now is for you to tap some good stuff out of me by asking some good, clear questions. So let's go. All right, Instagram, feel free. You are welcome to ask me any question your heart desires. Hi. Awesome. Okay, going through a wicked divorce. Tanya said, I'm going through a wicked divorce, and sometimes it affects me during my day. I get it. I'm sure it does. How do I climb over and around that to stay clear in the work without taking a break or looking for wine? So, Tanya, this is a great question. So I remember when I was separating from my fiance at the time. And one of the things that I did that really my best friend Brita, who I think I saw her on Instagram, she inspired in me. And one of the things that her and I both do is we do a lot of spiritual work. We've done a lot of spiritual work and continue to do a lot of spiritual work every single day, right? Like your income will never exceed your personal development. It just won't, right? And so she was saying to me, as you're kind of going through this, just make sure you feel the emotions so that you release them and you don't bottle them up. And so I remember when I was going through that separation. I know it wasn't a marriage, but it was my fiance, and heartache is heartache. And I remember I'd walk down the hall and I would drop to my knees when I would feel like a reminiscing thought or something, like, because that's where my head would go, like reminisce, like walking on the beach with him, and reminisce, like, beautiful moments where things were really great. And typically women will go into self-doubt at those type of moments, like, could I have done something different, or should I be doing something different? And I would just drop to my knees and I would just cry. And then I would get up and I'd wipe off my tears and I'd walk into my office, my home office, and then I would work. Do you know that anger, frustration, fear, pain is like a very strong energy for creating? And so, not that I feel like you're blessed for going through a divorce, by all means, not even close, but you are blessed with a really unstoppable energy right now. Jesse Itzler he wrote Living with a Seal, is influencing myself and a bunch of entrepreneurs to train for an endurance challenge. And the reason why that's important is one of the things he said yesterday is, you have good days and you have bad days. You just do, right? And that somebody said, well, how do I get myself to show up like you, right? Like this person was asking him, I show up, I'm consistent, but I really don't do my best, right? Like there's something still left inside me, but I really don't do my best. I'm trying to access what you have. And he said, access anger, access love, access emotions. If you have to prove to your parents something or whatever you have to do. And I think so often we spend so much time trying to work those things out of our dialogue, where sometimes you could just grab a hold of those moments and use them to actually encourage yourself to really show up bigger than you've ever showed up before. And I thought that was just incredible advice. Like, instead of being like, I want this out of me, I hate this moment in me, to actually go down deep and pull that emotion out and rock it out with it. So, Tanya, I'm sorry you're going through a divorce, but I will tell you, one of the most profitable times in my business, and I see this often, is during a breakup. And so I know that kind of sucks, but it's kind of good for you right now. That's kind of the upside to what you're going through. So I don't know if that helps at all, but, feel the emotion, just allow it to move out of you, but don't stay stuck in it. And then, like, right after you feel that emotion, go to work, and you'll find that it explodes. What you don't want to do is work, and not feel, because then you're just trapping all those emotions back inside your body. And guess what? You're going to attract that same lesson right back in with the next person. So you can heal it right now. Okay, anybody else questions? Jennifer, this is super helpful, Shanda. I'm going through the same challenge right now. God bless. So I'm glad that this could be helpful for you. Awesome. So any other questions? Please let me give to you right now, because the fact that I've had no sleep, one of the most energizing things on the planet to do is to just go give. When you don't have enough sleep, or when you are stressed out, or when things aren't working. If you want to break a pattern right now, go give, and you'll see everything jump back up. I try and train this to my clients all the time. Christy, I tend to get laser focused on a task at hand, leading everything else to fall by the wayside. For example, Porsche contest, then BAF. What do I do to get more balance? Well, Christy, balance is not real. It's not real. I don't think any great leader on this planet will ever tell you that balance is real. I have a great friend of mine, Michael Strasser, who does personal development trainings all over the world, and he has no balance. I mean, if anything, he's like a man on a mission with his hair on fire, because he's that fired up about what he's doing. Like, he gets in such a deep level that he matters and that he can make a difference, that he can't even stop himself from just showing up even bigger every single day. And he's been doing his job for 30 years, and you'd think that it was the first day that he was on the job and was super excited. Like, that's how much fire and passion. But that's the power of giving, right? Like, he gives on just an insane level. And I have never, in 15 years of knowing him, I've actually never heard him complain. Pretty crazy, right? So, Christy, I would say that your goal is not to be balanced. Your goal is to schedule. And what that means is, like, okay, you've got BAF, you've got the Porsche contest, the Porsche contest is about to end, right? Like tomorrow. So, you you've got one of those off your plate, and then you've got the BAF, which is done in like a few weeks. We're halfway done it already. And then you've got what, right? And so what you want to do is schedule. So you schedule, like I schedule something called flex time, which I think you know about. If you guys don't know me or haven't met me before, flex time is time off. I never need time off from my business. In fact, whenever I'm going on a vacation, as much as I love the vacation, there's a part of me that's like, oh my God, I still have so much energy to still work because I love it, right? But that is a product of scheduling flex time in my life. You should never feel exhausted. If you do, it's nothing to be proud of, and I know nobody would be proud of it, but it actually is something to be ashamed about if you still have that problem in 6 months from now. If you have any problem in 6 months from now, you need to actually like stop and just shame on you for a second. Like you need to gather enough time to actually go, what's my strategy here so I'm not still contending with this, right? So balance, forget about it, Christy, if you have any ambitions to be a top leader on the planet, but scheduling your life out in a way that you have tons of energy to continue to not lose yourself or, create some level of balance, I guess is what you're saying. So Ash and I have date nights. We have a non-negotiable date night. And sometimes that looks like going to a movie because neither of us want to talk. And we just hold each other's hand and watch a movie. Sometimes we went running last night together. Sometimes it's a walk on the beach, sometimes it's a picnic, and sometimes it's just a beautiful night out. But it's a non-negotiable time for him and I to just spend time together. And then every quarter, I have 2 weeks where I go and I have flex time. So I have 2 weeks a quarter now that I go do that. And that's why I can do what I do. So I hope that helps. Hope that helps everyone. So you have a scheduling issue. Karen, hopefully I said your name right and it's not Kieran, but Karen or Kieran. I'm currently looking to add on 13 private clients in the next 3 weeks. Great. I'm looking to do this all through Facebook Lives, post newsletter lists, but mostly Facebook Lives. My question is, do you suggest having a call to action such as get on a call with me at the end of every post just for the next 3 weeks, or simply posting info is enough because people are interested in reaching out? So I don't know if it's Karen or Kieran, but I'm going to call you Karen, so hopefully that's okay. So my question is, do you have an email list, Karen? Because if you do, that's the best way for you to be able to bring on those 13 people. The challenge with Facebook Lives are that, you could do one of two things. You could do a really great presentation on Facebook Live. I think Be Live TV actually has a setting, if you buy a package with them, that allows you to share your screen. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I think I saw that the other day when I interviewed Sasha yesterday. So go look on Be Live TV. But I would recommend that you actually do a presentation. If you're going to do Facebook Lives, I actually recommend that you do a full-blown presentation through video where you make a call to action. Maybe do a low cost point. Like, I don't know what it costs to coach with you, but instead of just giving it all away for free, what if you were to say, come up with a reason why you can give somebody coaching for like $37. I know that sounds crazy, but like $37 for like the next, week only or something like that. And if you have a good Facebook team, I would run ads to it. I would retarget your email list through ads, and I would send the same presentation to my email list at the same time and get some sales lead offers, meaning that people who have actually paid something to be able to talk to you, right? So that's what I would do. I think that would be a much more better use of your time. You wouldn't need a lot of people to say yes, because a lot of people who would be willing to put down $37 to get your time. And really, it's not even about the $37. It's about taking the wallet out, there's my son, and actually pulling out a credit card and having enough bandwidth of time to actually type it in to get that service from you. That is when somebody will put in the time and not use time as a reason to not take action, they are much, much, much more willing to buy from you. So then you'll be able to talk to less people and be able to rock it out. So I hope that is awesome. Hey, Don James, Sammy, good morning from Singapore. Nice to see you there. That's awesome. Okay, so Thembi, do you recommend learning iSolve? Everybody, if you don't know me, iSolve is what I was talking about at the beginning of this presentation. Then I got a text message from a client who used iSolve, which is my sales conversation, which if you want that and need that, this is not about pitching anything, but you can get that on my website at Hardcore Business for 3 payments of $32.99. But so this person used iSolve and made $6,000 on her first conversation. That's pretty cool. Thembi, do you recommend learning iSolve when I am still in list power, or should I wait for my summit to be done? I feel it might be helpful with my BAF. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, iSolve is such a simple, I mean, everything I do is simple, right? Like, I pretty much do not much that's complicated. I have a rule inside my business, and it needs to be stupid simple for it to work. And everything I've ever tried that's not stupid simple never works, right? It's like a pipe dream. So yeah, I absolutely recommend it. I think it's great. And Thembi, I actually recommend that you also reach out to someone like Jennifer Cornblee or Sherry Clark or Amy Yamada and ask them, how do they do it? Right? Like, there's a reason why those people make a lot of money. Like, there's a reason why they can make offers and they stick. And they also are top performers in BAF. And by the way, 2 of them learned through BAF how to be able to create that type of income, how to make offers and actually get people to follow you, right? Steph, Shanda, you said that people don't do the competitions to win the marketing traffic or $1,000 US. Where can I find those? I'm not sure what you mean. Those are they're contests internally that we actually do for our clients. So we do it for List Power, we do it for Pace Club and Marketing Mastery. We just do added incentives to try and get my community to show up. And it's so funny because everybody thinks they're showing up. Like, everybody thinks they're working their ass off. But the truth is even if they're getting great results, when they're not playing in those type of contests, they actually are showing themselves how much further they have yet to still go, right? And that if they were to just engage in them, how much easier and how quicker their companies would scale with much less ease. But they're so busy doing their own thing that they haven't opened up to really their biggest version of their self yet in peak performance. So hope I answer your question, Steph. Matt Schaefer, what are the most effective ways to quickly convert your list? I lost my job last week and I can't afford to take 2 weeks to do the 3-part video series, then webinar. I could maybe do the webinar. So first and foremost, you've got to take a deep breath and you have to chill out your energy. Because when we have this panicked energy, I know you're in urgency, but make sure there's no panic. If there is panic, you will find that it's very hard to stick anything because people can feel when they are a dollar symbol, right? So it's really important that that you're coming from a place of service. And I know you probably know this, but the way you're acting behind closed doors is the energy that comes to every email, everything you do. So I did send you a text actually, I think it was, yesterday. I have so many messages going on at the same time. The blessing of having such a huge company at this point. But I recommend that you survey them right away. And then from that survey, from your email list, surveying them, let me see the survey and we will look at your positioning on some email marketing to, just like I was coaching into with Karen, to be able to pull some people off that are good candidates for you. I would recommend that you sell some pay in fulls. And what I mean by that is if someone pays in full with our company for one of our mentorship programs, we actually give them 2 months for free. So give a great deal if somebody pays in full so you can actually get some cash flow up front. So again, willing to give to be able to receive. So Matt, do the survey and let me see the survey. Okay. Margaret, use your emotions instead of against you. Great. Awesome. Denise, realize, and you guys on Instagram, if you have any questions for me, please feel free to ask me. Okay. Denise, where are you? Okay, realize that I have anxiety, which sometimes shows up as anger while asking for help because I was raised to figure it out. You know what? That's so funny. I actually used to have that too. As the second oldest, parents didn't have the time to help me. Any strategies to recognize when I'm stopping myself and overcoming the anxiety and anger? Denise, yes. In March of next year, we are going to do an entrepreneurial leadership program. I would recommend you send me a private message and I will send you some information about that because I don't know any other way that you can do it other than this. So send me a private message and I'll send you some information about it, okay? If you have emotional triggers or you can't get yourself to show up the way you want yourself to show up, I'm a firm believer in a training that we actually are bringing into our company because entrepreneurs need this in such a huge way. And it's what I did, and it put me in the driver's seat of my own business and my own emotional triggers. So yes, just private message me if anybody needs that. Okay, so Joanne Wright, that's great insight. Okay, awesome. I start reading something and I realize it's just like a comment, not a question. Okay, Instagram, you guys are quiet. I see you guys on there, but I don't see you guys asking any questions. Does anybody have any questions over there on Instagram? Is this good, you guys? Is this making a difference for you? Is this helping at all? Miranda, I'm coming to the zone event. Woo! But I sell a very nice beauty product. Great, not coaching. That's fine. Do you think it will still benefit? Do you think it'll still be beneficial? Yeah. Miranda, so you know what? I'm drinking this right now. I'm not selling this product. I'm not affiliated with it. But I guarantee you they get a lot of sales because I share that I drink this and that it's maca and it's roasted and I have a big email list. And if I wanted to share with my email list that I was doing this Facebook Live right now, I would have, I have 108 comments on Facebook right now. Yesterday's Facebook Live got viewed by 3.5 million people. And I don't know how many comments and shares that I have. In fact, if you do know an entrepreneur who should hear the message and the coaching that we did today, can you do me a favor and tag that in the comments section? That would be great, Instagram and Facebook. That would be super helpful so that I can make a bigger difference. But if I wanted to sell this, I could actually sell this because of my big email list and because of all the marketing that I'll teach at the Zone event. So, how do you actually set up your positioning so that you can position something where people actually want to hear it and receive it and digest it? One of my clients, actually, yesterday's Facebook Live, Sasha, if you can go find it on my Facebook page on Hardcore Business, she actually took Young Living, which is a essential oil. It's a multi-level marketing company. It's an essential oil. And she sent out 3 emails and is making, just over $800 a month reoccurring through 3 emails. And it's not even something she's doing for a business, right? And so she brought on 27 new business builders with 3 emails, right? I just share that with you because, I'm going to bring on a company called Grace by Grit. It's a local company. I love their stuff. It's running gear. You guys who live in cold areas, not that it's all cold areas, but my favorite leggings is a pair of leggings that they're insulated and they make your butt look good. They make your legs look good, and they have the best vibrant blue and colors. They're just so sexy. I'm going to bring on the owners of Grace by Grit and come up with a good opportunity and deal for everybody that watches 6 a.m. Coffees with Shanda. If they want to grab it, they can grab it at a discount, right? But I want to talk to them about how they grew this brand, Grace by Grit. So all the same things that I do to sell coaching, you can actually do to sell beauty products. So that's the breakdown that a lot of people have in their head. Because I'm a coach, they're like, well, how do I apply this? And because a lot of coaches follow me, how do I apply this? I'm like, I was selling real estate before this. You know what I mean? I could start, I hope I made my point. Business is business is business, and it's all sold the same way. Whether you want to sell a product through a webinar, whether you want to sell event tickets, whether you want to sell coaching, whether you want to get investors to sell to their investment groups, for real estate. It doesn't matter. I mean, there's nothing that you can't do with the same marketing. Okay, great. Hope I answered your question, Miranda. Anita, Shanda, any thoughts on my new summit name would be appreciated. Goal is over 5,000 built. So I would love to, but you're not giving me any vision of what you want to create. So I can't just you're asking me to do the work for you. You have to actually tell me what's your vision. What's the difference you're trying to make in the world with the next interview series that you're doing, and then I can give you some insight on that. Okay, you guys, it's 6:30, and I always promise to be off Facebook Live at 6:20 so that people, can manage their life and just come and have some coffee, tea, or macchiato with me. But I do want to share with you on Monday, I am planning on having my husband on with me on Monday to talk about what caused him to quit the other two companies that he started and when he got uncomfortable, and how he quit his comfortable job to be able to now build out a company called Highburst. You can go look it up on highburst.com. I'm going to have him on Monday because there's some interesting things that I learned from him that I want to share with you and dissect, like the way he thinks, because he's an analyzer and he has the capacity to have much more risk than I do. And he analyzes things much differently. And so if you want to see a little bit into the insight or behind the curtains on how Ash and I operate behind the curtains together as a husband-wife, and on how I can tell you why his company is going to succeed this time and why the other ones didn't, based on the way that he actually is showing up. So I think it'd be hugely valuable. I think it'd be a very different Facebook Live or Instagram Live as well. We can have you guys on too because we'll be together. But Monday at 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, I'm going to do that interview with him. So it'll be 20 minutes. It'll be awesome. And I will talk to you guys soon. Have a great day. I'm going back to bed. Bye.